Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 414, back on the topic of the NFL. Today, Jay and I are going to be talking about whether or not Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers will get a playoff win this year. Really, will Justin Herbert get his first playoff win? But first, question of the day, and that is, who is the Chargers' all-time franchise sack leader? Again, comment below if you know the answer. Stick around to the end of the video if you don't. We'll discuss it then. But Jay, obviously, Justin Herbert, a guy that we have a lot of faith in. The Chargers, a team that seem to have nothing but room to grow. Can Herbert and the Chargers get Herbert his first playoff win this year?
Yeah, I guess we're kind of being bold, or I am at least. Haven't heard your complete take, but we're just assuming they'll make it, because making the playoffs is one thing alone in the AFC. You saw the Miami Dolphins miss the playoffs last year, even going 10-6, and even having an extra seed being added on to the playoff bracket of a 7 seed when it's usually 6. But I like Justin Herbert, and I like this Chargers team, and I definitely think they'll make it. Looking at this past year, they were 7-9, and there were about 5 or 6 games where they just completely blew a lead to a bad coaching call, or their kicker missed a game-sealing win, or a game-tying kick, or just something like that. There was 5 or 6 losses to the Los Angeles Chargers that really should have gone in their favor. And really, if you even just give them half of that, this is a 10-6 team. And I think with a brand new coach and Brandon Staley, all this will be fixed. Now, of course, he's a wild card, but he did come from a great organization in right next door, LA Rams. And I think Sean McVay has a great coaching family tree of his coaching partners. And I think Brandon Staley is going to be an immediate click for this Chargers team defensively and on offense for Justin Herbert. Him being a defensive mind could bring some speculation and questioning how he will help Justin Herbert in the offense. But one of the big things the Chargers said on why they wouldn't let Brandon Staley leave the room without a job is because of the ideologies he brought for Justin Herbert in the offense. It wasn't just the defensive schemes he has. To me, when this Chargers team, like I said, has those 5 or 6 games that's fixed to a new head coach and has a team that's completely healthy, there isn't really, I don't say a threat to them not getting a playoff win, because of course there's always a threat. There's a big chance someone could get injured, but I just think on paper this is one of the best rosters in the league. And Derwin James, an all-pro safety, Joey Bosa, one of the best defensive ends. And then on the offense, you didn't have your running back part of the year, Austin Eckler. He'll be back 100% of the time. And I think Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler are creating like a Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara thing where they're just got great chemistry out of the backfield. And then, of course, 2 great wideouts. And Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is a little questionable, but he's got hands and he's got a big frame to go up and catch the ball. Hunter Henry, great safety blanket. I hope they re-sign him. And I think Brandon Staley will be able to attract some of the free agents that is coming from the Rams and bring them to the Chargers. And, of course, the draft is, of course, where they could build as well, but I think it'll go straight to offensive line. Don't think they'll win the division, but I think in the first round of the wild cards, they can knock off a Lamar Jackson in the Ravens, a Baker Mayfield in the Browns, a Big Ben in the Steelers. I think they could take out a Titans. I think they could take out even a Josh Allen in the Bills. And even Mahomes, I think it's possible, but if they face him first round and have to go to Kansas City or something like that, that will be tough, but I do think the odds are low of that occurring.
Yeah, honestly, the 2 big things for me is, one, as you mentioned, the Brandon Staley factor clicking, which I think obviously absolutely needs to happen. We saw what the Chargers were last year with a coach in Anthony Lynn that didn't really click with Herbert. They were, what, a 4-win team, 5-win team?
7 to 9.
Okay.
They had a 4-game win streak. Anthony Lynn trying to coach his ass off still didn't work.
There you go. So my point being, with the wrong coach, the right team is not good. So we need Brandon Staley to click. And like Jay said, obviously coming from a McVay system, he definitely knows football, but does he know the offensive side of the game enough to really use Herbert to his full extent? That's what we need to see. And then, of course, I really want them to re-sign Hunter Henry. Obviously, free agency, not guaranteed, but I do think they will. I think that's the right move. So I think those 2 things need to happen. And then the Justin Herbert's game, not an issue with me. I like what you said about Eckler and his chemistry with Herbert out of the backfield, and I like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams a lot. And then again, Hunter Henry if they re-sign him. And then yes, I think this team can win 10 games, which obviously in the AFC is not a guarantee. But if you look at what last year, personally, I think the Colts will not make the playoffs this year. I think Carson Wentz doesn't click there. So they might be out of the picture.
Steelers could fall.
Steelers, they did renegotiate with Big Ben. But who knows? Big Ben is deteriorating quickly. So, yes, Steelers could be out of the picture. I do expect the Browns to be back in the equation. I do think the Titans will still be. I do think Lamar will have a good year. So we'll have to see how the playoff picture plays out. But I do think that the Chargers can make a 7 or 6 seed appearance, which then would likely send them to either Buffalo or Kansas City. But I do think my most realistic and really most hopeful situation for the Chargers is that they end up going to Buffalo, which I think Buffalo is, yes, a good team, but very beatable, especially early in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you think the Chargers have problems, but every team in the NFL does. If you look at the Buffalo Bills and Chargers on paper, they both kind of lack offensive line. Their pass rush has talent, but they don't execute. Their secondaries are solid, but aren't completely their 100%. Run games, Buffalo doesn't have a run game. Chargers can't have a run game. It's just not healthy. Either way, they have similar holes and gaps, and really, as much as we know, talent is a factor, and who's on your roster is a factor. Sometimes it's just who has a better day on the football field. And I think a lot of this is not, even though we question the video to kind of be, will Justin Herbert get his first win? It's more of not, can Justin Herbert do it? Can the team around him click? Can his head coach click? And I think another similar question that rises is just kind of like Brandon Staley with the Chargers is like Urban Meyer with the Jaguars. Is it going to be a perfect fit? Will it fit like a glove? Will it be the franchise-changing guy that will lead them the next 10, 15 years, or be a complete bust? I think the Chargers will work it out. I think Joey Bosa is going to reign and bring the type of pass rush that he used to be in his first 2 years. He's banged up a little last year. I think they're going to get him some help, and I think in the secondary, Derwin James will get help as well. As you guys know, he's kind of nicknamed the Kelsey Stopper. That's kind of a notable nickname to have on this Chargers defense that you 100% want to have, and just around the league, if you have one of those, it's very awesome. And I think, like I said, I don't know if they could win the division, but I'm not fearing the Kansas City Chiefs if I'm the LA Chargers by any means.
Yeah, the one thing I have full confidence in is Justin Herbert. And honestly, if the Chargers find their way into a wild card game, I do think that they will find a way to win. I don't see Herbert making it there and then going home in the first round, because if they get him there, that means they obviously have figured out the head coaching situation, the O-line, the defense, all that. And if they get him there with as hot as the offense I know can get, I think that if they get him to the playoffs, they'll get a win, and I think Justin Herbert is certainly deserving of a playoff win.
Yeah, I think right now both of our floors for the Chargers is almost 10-6, so they may come out and surprisingly go 12-4 and maybe win the division. I mean, yeah, Mahomes has gone 14-2, 15-1 the past 2 years.
I can't see the Chiefs not winning that division
until
Mahomes leaves.
But it is
They're
possible.
a 14-win team every year.
On paper, if both teams are healthy, it's possible, but yeah, if I had to put money on it, I don't see the Chiefs not winning that division.
Yeah, I don't know. You bring up the Kelsey Stopper point. I mean, we saw what the Bucs did. Dropped safeties and locked up Kelsey, and they won by 27 points or whatever they won by. So I don't know. I think I got high hopes for the Chargers, and like I said, the one rock they have is their talented young quarterback in Justin Herbert. You get him in the playoffs, he's going to get you a win.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not winning it, but if somehow in the conversation of MVP, I think he's got that the talent, and second-year guys we've seen taking the jump.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's all for the video. Comment below whether or not you think the Chargers and Justin Herbert can get him his first playoff win this year, because I think it is very possible, and so does Jay. Guys, that's all for the video. And as far as your question today, your Chargers all-time leading franchise leader in sacks, is Leslie O'Neal. Thanks for watching, guys. 2 Minute Warning.